Hmm? Good one. Mm-hmm.
My head is fucked up right now.
Tune in. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. This is good, man. I already see what Kimani getting nothing but gems, man. Talking number of facts. It's the real OG right here. Real OG right here. As soon as he tap back in, we gonna get him back up, get it going. Appreciate everybody tapping in, man. Listen, man, I appreciate all the feedback. What's going on, DT? Talk to me. Yo, listen, guys, man, yo, feel free to ask him any questions you want. Send in your questions, man. a lot of us is up here just sitting here and just listen. I know he's giving out a lot of information. But grasp it. Let's ask him some questions. Hey, yo, who just said that? Let me go back up to comment. Hey, yo, Tevin. Listen, I just told this to my assistant. I said, listen, it's not even players on this platform. It's not players. It's coaches. And for me, and someone for the numbers and audience, this is the best episode by far. So let's get Kimani up here without further ado, because it's the best episode by far. Ain't nobody getting these gems right now. I'm telling you, it's the best one by far. Mani, appreciate you, bro.
Yo, Durant.
Yeah.
I just thought about this. I got a question for you.
I'm listening.
Why did you turn the ball over under 30 seconds when we was up 1 against St. Benedict's? Why did you do that? At Madison Square Garden. Why did you do that, man?
Hey, yo.
Yo, Durant, you know I hear from this dude every day, right? You know, Danny.
Yo, you know some crazy, yo. I can't remember who just asked me this question the other day. Somebody asked me the same question. Listen.
Why did you turn that ball over, son?
Listen, everybody know me and the type of person I am. And I'm a prideful player, and I always take ownership. And I will always jump in the front line for anybody. At this point, let me talk. So, boom. I got the ball. Time is running down. I already know what I want to do with the ball. I'm locked in on the game, right? And I'm not mad at him because as a coach, you try to tell the player what to do, put him in the best position for us to succeed. But as I'm locked in, your man Mo is, I don't know what he's even yelling at me. He's yelling something. I'm like, huh? So as I'm, going in and out of tension, because I got to watch, I think Scott Machado was guarding me. I got to, make sure he ain't reaching. By the time I look, I just went dead off my foot.
Yo.
I was so pissed. In my mind, I was pissed at Mo. Nobody know that, but I was pissed at Mo. But everybody was pissed at me like, yo, he's turned it over. I'm like, this nigga Mo is talking to me.
Yo.
I was so upset, man.
Yo, literally, right? So we'll be in recruiting meetings, like with families. You know what I'm saying? Like on the recruiting, like on the visits at the house. Yeah, and coach be like, oh yeah, Kimani, he coached at Rice, he coached Kimber. Oh yeah, we beat them.
He definitely will have that trump card forever.
Yo, he says it. Kimber has been up here multiple times. Kimber be like, yo, you got but we,
that was definitely my fault. I take that one on the chin.
No, listen, trust me, I blame you every time. Don't get it twisted. I blast it. Durant turned the ball over. We was up 1 and he turned the ball over. They went high-low, threw it in the Samato. That's how we lost. And listen, think about their team though.
Yeah, that team's crazy. Both teams crazy. It was a crazy game.
Yo, Scott
Machado. Look how many players who became NBA overseas and still playing till this day. And this is a game we're talking about that happened years ago.
Yo,
you know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
Yo, Durant, Tristan Thompson was playing the 3, man. He was playing the 3. They had Scott Machado, pro.
Yeah.
Tamir Jackson.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson, NBA champion. Samato Samuel and Greg Ejinike.
Yep.
I said, yo, we had Dorvell playing the 5.
Yeah, that was tough. That was they two bigs alone. Like we was outmatched just really 2 bigs alone. No, we had to fight a matchup with them.
Yo,
it was crazy.
I keep saying, yo, we had Dorvell playing the 5.
Yeah. So to be honest, when you go back to coach, you should be like, yo, it should be a shame that we had opportunity to even be in the game.
That's what I said.
That's what I said.
That's what I said. I
Because
said
y'all was some scrapers.
That's what I said. I said we had that Rice heart, man. We had that Rice
That's
heart.
a fact.
That Rice heart. But now I couldn't let you slide, man. I couldn't let you slide.
I already know you had that one waiting for you before you even got on the slide. Facts. But yeah, as we get back into it, you know, nowadays I would see, you probably see it too. I would see a lot of kids growing up. They'll say, man, I don't care, man. If I don't go to the league, I'm going overseas. Like, as if it is as easy how you said it. Like, it ain't that easy. I feel like you have to be mentally stronger to go overseas and play overseas than to be in the NBA. And a lot of kids growing up don't know that. They think that's their plan B. But listen, bro, your plan B, when you touch down, that coach might cancel your plan B and send you back home. Then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So kind of talk about that.
No, it's not easy, man. You know, like I said before, man, like, you know, when you're in college, man, you gotta prepare yourself for everything, you know. And I think that was one of the things that slowed me up from really, getting getting my career going. You have no idea what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, you think if you're the best player on your college team, I don't care where you play at, you think you're going to the NBA.
Yep.
You see it now. You got dudes putting their name in early from, you know what I'm saying? Like schools that there's never been a pro at your school. You know what I'm saying? You average 8 points. Why are you like, what are you thinking? But that's just where we are as a society. Like, no, all right, aim for the stars, man. You know what I mean? Aim for it. You know what I mean? You work hard, like, because this is the reality. And I said this earlier. There's only a small pool of people that physically are going to be able to play in the NBA.
Yep.
Just physically. Durant, you was a hell of a player. You know what I'm saying? This dude's 6'9" that do what you do.
Exactly. Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it makes it look effortless.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I tell people, like, you now there's diamonds in the rough. There's dudes that, toughness, defensive mindset, leadership, shooting, there's special skills. There's like, you know what I mean? Like there's specialists that can find a way to make the NBA, and that's awesome. But it's damn near impossible to make the NBA, man.
Yeah.
It's damn near impossible. You know what I mean? And to play at a high level in Europe, it's a step below that. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a lot of intangibles. You got to have a lot of things about you that go your way. You got to have great opportunities, and you got to make the best of it. But, for me, I think using basketball as a tool to get to college, get your degree, like there's going to be more Shane Southwells and Kimani Youngs than there's going to be Kemba Walkers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody that's in this space has to understand that.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's real. That's a real rap right there. So, as we kind of hop on the overseas lifestyle, like, as I also asked Shane before I kind of tapped him out, if you was ever presented a job to coach overseas, we kind of see it now with Rick Pitino kind of shaking the room a little bit with it. Like, would you take the opportunity? Like, what would be a deciding factor? Would it be money? Would it be the experience? Would it be, the opportunity? Maybe it was presented as you go over there, experience it, and maybe try to go to the NBA. Like, what are some things around that you talk about?
For me, Durant, I gotta get my kids through college, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta put my, you know what I mean? I owe them that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's most important for sure.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? I ain't going nowhere, man. I gotta get my kids through college, man. You know what I mean? But
is your ultimate goal? Let me say, would it be the NBA, or you feel like you're in a place where like you're making so much of a change, and like once again go back to the word inspire, you're inspiring these kids to become, men
Yeah,
that, that is going to become someone much more than the person dribbling behind the basketball.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So, because I know a lot of people who are comfortable in that space because they feel like they're more of a change to society and to the game of basketball than to go to the game of where it's more of an entertainment business. You know what I mean?
yeah. Now Durant for me, like I want to do it at the highest level, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want
Go
to
get
do
it.
I want to do everything at the highest level. When I got into coaching, I was like, oh, all right, AAU. You know what I'm saying? Then I was like, wait a minute, the next level of this is high school. I felt like high school was
Mm-hmm.
a more professional, more organized. You know what I'm saying? It was
Mm-hmm.
more practicing, more strategy involved. Then I got to high school. Then you get to
Mm-hmm.
college. You know what I'm saying? And then the next step, just natural progression for me, is to coach in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the highest level of our game.
Got
You
you.
know,
Got you.
I tell people, I tell recruits this, like, you want to go to the NBA. That mean? You're trying to do, like, you're trying to get to the highest level of our game, what we do. You're trying to be an orthopedic surgeon. You're trying to be a Supreme Court judge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to be an architect, an engineer. You're trying to do what we do at the highest level. And, for me, that just lends to my, my competitiveness, who I am as a person, and wanting to do the next thing.
Facts. Hey, listen, man. Marty, we appreciate you, man. You came up here and dropped none but knowledge. Like, he's a real representative of what it means to face obstacles, go through hardships, family problems, facing, death, running to. There's so much things where, especially for us as black men, you
You was
expect
at the
us to
funeral.
go.
D. Scott, you think I don't remember? You was at the funeral.
I know I was.
You was at the
I know.
funeral.
I support who needs to be supported, man. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Who's there for me, I'm gonna be there for you 100%. That's how I look at life. Let's go back to what's going on today. I feel like people making this a race thing or whatever. Man, listen, respect people how they respect you, man. If they treat you good, you should treat them right. No matter what color their skin is, man. If they do something good for you, do something right for them, and other people will continue seeing that, and that's how this world could be a better place.
Yeah.
Because examples is what people see. It's not all this chirping, be posting on Twitter, Instagram. If I see it in front of me, I might just go out and do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, man, we just gotta continue to shape the world, man. Kimani continue to inspire. The youth, man, keep doing wonderful things for us. Viewers, stay tuned. We got these 2 questions for y'all after this. The cash prize winner. Stay tuned, man. We're trying to give it out. Like I always tell everybody, it's gonna be a question from beginning of the show, end of the show. We've been having everybody tuned in, so hopefully you've been tuning in the whole show. We can cash you out. Money, man, we appreciate you, man.
My man, love. I appreciate you having me. My man Heck on there, AAU Wars, Steve Harris.
Yes, sir.
Love.
It was crazy, man, to see, like, you don't even know that name, like, it's
Shane.
crazy, man. It's go way back,
Yo,
man.
D. Scott. Shout out to Shane and Bunny. Me and Chad, right? Me and Chad. Before we go, me and Chad, we on the Peloton group crew together. It's about 12, 15 of us, a bunch of coaches. We on Peloton. And you know what I'm saying? I one time I said to the whole group, I said, yo, I love everybody in here except Chad. Because I'm still tight about our AAU wars with the Gauchos.
You know Chad was in here. He was in here earlier though. He was in here though.
Yeah, but listen, man, we that's all part of my journey.
Yeah.
Love is here. Like, I'm not, I'm who I am. I'm not changing, man. I'm an AAU coach masquerading as a college coach. You know what I mean? Period.
Big facts. Hey, yeah. Man, Monty, man, we appreciate you, man.
Wow.
This for the coach. This for New York City right here. I'm 100% sure right here. All these people right here happen from New York right here. And these are just interviews that are really highly anticipated because we now look at y'all as like, one of the guys that we need to pick y'all brains because you took certain lanes and the proof is in the pudding. You guys made it. You know what I mean? So we need to grasp this information for these young guys that also maybe try to make the transition to go to coaching. You know what I mean? So Like I said, Kimani, man, appreciate you, man. Continue to
I'm
inspire.
here, man.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
here. I'm fun. Listen, anybody need me? My number ain't changed. Send a bat signal, and I'm there.
That's
You know what I mean? Ain't
that's a
nothing.
good thing you said. That's another thing, man. Listen, this platform is here, man. These three guys, they're a click away. It don't matter what
Yeah,
school you go to, man, because you know
yeah.
why? They care about us as a person before anything. You know what I
Yo,
mean? And if
listen,
you
listen.
get advice to go to the next level, these guys is one click away.
Yo, I
One
tell
click
you
away.
like this, Durant. For me, if I had love for you then, I got love for you now. If I had beef with you then, I still got that beef. So that's what it is. That's what it
Big
is.
facts. Facts.
Never change. Heck no.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I'm here.
Big facts. Big
My
facts. We
man, love you.
appreciate you, bro.
I love you, boy. All right?
Love you, OG.
Doing your thing. My main man.
Already.
Yep. Stay up.
Woo! Let me get this up here real quick, because listen. Hey, man, hold on. Before I even say, I gotta get Chuck a shot for this. Boy, tonight, I'm on fire. Yo, this one right here. Yo. What you saying, Pin? Oh, Pin what? Yo, this, I ain't gonna lie, this is goody, man. I appreciate Kimani coming out here showing some love, man. You know, we had Shane up here earlier, you know, share some gems, you know, like I said, we get a little bit of the, you know, young generation, the older generation, because a lot of stories that Kimani shared that I had no clue about. Like I didn't even know there was a career for Kimani before New Heights. You feel me? And I knew Kimani with New Heights for so long that I thought that was all his doing. You know what I mean? But just to see like all the trials and tribulations he went through, and you know, Tommy went through New Heights and stuff like that. See how he prevailed and see where he's at today. Like, it's crazy. And I'm a player. I'm not even a coach. To me, I'm not even inspired to be a coach. I'm inspired to do a lot more other things than coaching. But watching his journey and seeing how he got there, the things that he went through, and bro, like, this is stuff you supposed to, we're not gonna get into, man. I appreciate you coming on, man, for real. That was a good one, bro. We're gonna keep this going. We got Emanuel book. Everybody know my son's book. We got book coming up next. Let me give him a text, man. See if we get him a book up here, man. We're gonna have a book come up here. You know, once you get up here, shoot me a request. We're gonna get book up here. Well, stay tuned, man. We got a goodie. We still got goodies. Who we got in this? Let's interact with comments. What's going on? What's going on? Omar was good. T Bass was good. Shane, appreciate you tapping in. DT, you already know there's levels to this. Big facts. Pin that right now. Oh, big facts. That's for real. That's a fact. Oh, Adam, what's up? Yo, Adam, you better be tuned in listening, man. I'm here playing no video games. Listen, it ain't time to dribble basketball. It's time for airs, Adam. Who knows, man? Adam's, you know, it's my little brother, man. He's like my little brother to me, man. And I'm happy he's tuned into, you know, a special like this where he could grasp information at a young kid. You know what I mean? So it's really dope. Go on through the comments. 305 Sports, man. Shout out to 305 Sports. They was tuned in last week. They won the prize. Hey, man, y'all don't believe me? Go ask him, man. He's right here. Ask him. 305. Listen, we're giving you easy questions. We want to give away the money. We would like you to win the money. It's gonna be 2 easy questions, and all you gotta do is just tune in. Ain't that hard? Appreciate you guys. Omari was good. And I ain't talking about Amari Lawrence. You heard? What you mean you locked in? I'm not you. What you mean? I'm not trying to hear that. Oh, my brother, you say you locked into the video. Okay, got you, guys. Got you. As you should. As you should. Book is up here. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? Let's get book up here, man. Oh, we see if I go loud. So I get book up here. We gonna go right into it, man. Let's get book here. Book here. Uncle Book. Uncle Book.
I'm locked in.
I'm here with you. Here we go. Hey, man. What's going on?
Man, I can't call it. Long day, long day. Just getting out the gym a little while ago. So happy to be in there,
It's
just
over.
grinding.
As you
Who you
should,
telling?
as you should.
Who you telling, Dre?
That's what it is. So, what you been up to, man, during this quarantine, man? Obviously, you've been keeping busy in the gym, still doing what you got to do, but, just kind of keep your mind right. What the kind of things you've been doing to, just kind of stay level-minded?
Trying to continue to educate and teach the young guys in the program, in and around, the young people that I've been involved with. Just trying to, like I said, stay locked in. Also trying to make everybody aware of what's going on, dealing with this pandemic, but also dealing with this, with the race riots, with the looting, with the protests. Just making sure we stay educated and understanding that we have a voice to vote. And the dude that's in power right now, we have to start reevaluating some things, because a lot of us who felt we didn't have a voice, we didn't vote, and therefore that dude is in office. So,
Yes. Yes.
that's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, I like how you started this book, because this is something that's really important. And I actually had a live the other day where I kind of touched on, a little bit on this topic, and it's kind of crazy. And for me to have a platform like this, it'll be stupid of me to not try to use this platform and my voice to speak to my people and reunite us and make sure we acting accordingly, because this is a time of change, man. There's a lot of crazy thing going on. It's definitely a time of change, and before we can kind of continue, I definitely, we had a moment of silence for Floyd earlier, but I definitely want to repeat it again. Just, let that man rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
Because, his life is scary. As scary as you may say, but his life is what, is triggering this time right now, which could hopefully turn into change. You know what I mean? So, this time is real, man. It's something crazy. But as we kind of get into the interview now, what are some things like, but yeah, let's start here. As a young kid, whose book? Let's start there. I want to know whose book when the ball is put in his hand.
What was funny, Dred, kind of New York City's own. I've been fortunate and blessed. I've seen a lot, especially when the basketball was first put in my hand, at 8, 19 years old. I was a kid that played at Millbank, and my mom was a young mom. She had me at a very young age. She had me at 15 years old. And my pops was he was into other things, let's say that. And
Gotcha.
he was, like I said, he worked. He had a candy store on 117th Street in Lenox, and I grew up in Harlem. Lived in Yonkers. I lived in every borough, so moving for me was one of those things where it happened all the time. So when the basketball went in my hands, it was one of those things where it gave me some stability. It gave me a team. It gave me something that I finally was looking for. And like our groups were really good. In Dread, I think I may have told you guys this story. I played the 5 and small fry, 5 foot 1 and under, 12 and under.
Nah.
But I played the 5, 8 foot rim. So Jerry McCullough, who I don't know if you guys remember from Rice,
No,
but a
I do.
legend.
I know I do.
Yeah, one of the best dudes to ever do it. Like, never gets his props, never gets his credit. Jerry and I have been rocking for a while since we were 10. Greg Wilkerson, guys like that. Shout out to him. Raymond Reed, all those guys from the Millbank area. My man Doug, who I just got caught up with again. So we saw things other than basketball, and we were fortunate enough to take it. Through high school. I'm telling you, playing for Riverside Church and Tommy Swinton. There's so many people that I run into that played for Tommy, and they like, damn, Book, you played for Tommy? Yeah, I did.
That's crazy. You played for Tommy? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I would have. No wonder you would use a dog.
And you had no choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had no choice. I'm telling you, Dredden. I think
Yeah.
Tommy knew, like guys like Adrian Autry, David Kane, Mike Huger, they helped shape my life. Not only save it, but shape it, because again, I was a very impressionable youth that it could have went either way for me. It could have went either way, because I saw things that I was into, and I saw things that I liked that probably a 12, 13-year-old kid shouldn't see. I saw things at a 10. I saw my first dead body at 10 years old. So, you start to normalize it, and you start to rationalize it, with the things that that you saw, and the basketball is taking me all across this world as it's done you, and it's done a tremendous job of educating me to the world that I didn't know, because the world that I thought I knew, again, I laugh and say I graduated from UCLA, and dude's like, nah, no, you didn't, bro. Yes, I did. University on the corner of Lenox Avenue.
Let them know, book.
and so it happened. So that should give back. You know what I'm saying, Dred? That should give back.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So as we fast forward a little bit, since I didn't know this, but as I did my research, you played for Riverside Church, boy?
I played so after Tommy came to the Gauchos, we played 13 under nationals. Mashburn was on the other team. It was Jerry, trying to think who, Dow Parsons, Damon Santiago. When I say they had a pound, they had a crew, and they won to go to the nationals in St. Louis. And Adrian Autry, Red Autry, and Mike Huger was like, nah, yo, you going to play in Riverside. I didn't know. Like I said, I had no idea. And like I said, I met arguably my best friend in life ever, Terrence Rencher. And, we played at Riverside Church. And it was weird because you played all the way through. And at one point, Dred, I'm telling you, like, I got tired of basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 5'8" guy who they were saying is pretty good. But, you fall out of love because you start falling in love with other things, or you're exposed to other things.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things, man. He played Riverside Church. Yo, Dred, I lived on 168th and Clay Avenue. I had to either catch a bus or take a cab to the D train, take the D to 59th, catch the 1 from 59th all the way up to 116th. Or you caught the 4 to the 2, you know what I'm saying, the 4 to the 2, the 2 to 96. It was like, Dred, I was a 10-minute walk.
Before they grind.
It was literally 10 minutes to get to the Gauchos gym from where I was, but loyalty was one of those things that I didn't know anything else. And by the way, I would say this, keeping it tall. I'm not sure if I could have made that team with the guards that were over there. Like I said, those dudes were nice. Sherwin Jefferson, Sherwin Anderson, like, what I'm saying, those young guys was nice. So like I said,
feel like it's just crazy for me because like I was doing the research. I'm like, hold on. Well, coach me at the shows. Look at the shows. I'm like, well, how I don't know this? You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny to me. You know what I mean? And I know like during that time, like you said, you had special guys, up and down the roster. But cause I'm sure like you might have played AAU during the time. Like talk about like some of them guys that might have been on the circuit. Superstar players. Obviously, I went to the league. Just kind of so people kind of get a vision of the era you was in. You know what I mean?
What people didn't realize, when you go to Detroit and they talk about like the Fab Five. Well, again, that was my year. Like Chris Webber was LeBron James before LeBron James, in terms of his size, his skill level, his athleticism. Like no one understood him and Glenn Big Dog Robinson same year. You know what I'm saying? Like those are two dudes who. They were kind of scared of us, the New York reputation, but Jalen Rose wasn't scared of us. Like on his AU team, Malcolm Huckabee, who went to, I think, Boston College, was a pro. Howard Isley, a pro. They had this dude, K2 Davis, was a problem. And all them Detroit dudes, it was they wasn't playing no games. Then, like I said, just in the city alone, the year before me, Dred, there were 5 McDonald's All-Americans. And by the way, the sixth guy who was the New York State Player of the Year was Jamal Mashburn, who didn't play in the game. So you had Adrian Autry, Syracuse, McDonald's All-American, Talentine High School, Bronx. You had Brian Reese, North Carolina, Talentine, McDonald's All-American. You had Khalid Reeves and Derek Phelps, both from Christ the King. One went to Arizona, one went to North Carolina. You had those 4 dudes who were McDonald's All-Americans. Then, like I said, you had Jamal Mashburn, who was the New York State Player of the Year, never played in the game, 1990. And probably who was better than all of them, arguably, is a dude by the name of Anthony Cade, 6'10", played 1 through 5. He was a McDonald's All-American, and he went to Oak Hill. Just saying, like that
Bro,
era was like no other. They called us the baby Big East because we had 4 to 5 teams nationally ranked in high school basketball every year. It was stupid.
it's giving me it making me feel like when it was my age growing up, when we was in AAU playing, when you was coaching us, it was so many talented players. That's kind of goosebumps you give me right now. So I know you's amongst the
I
most
mean,
elite basketball players there can be.
I got to see Chris Jackson as a junior in high school, aka Mahmoud Rauf. Like people see Steph Curry, and all due respect to Steph Curry, but before Steph Curry, it was Chris Jackson. Again, just watch. If you watch him at LSU with Shaq and Stanley Roberts, nothing to be toyed with at all. I watched Kenny Anderson. Again, I was able to like you talk about. I got one of the greatest stories ever. Turned into my best friend Shane, the dribble machine Wooney. We had gotten to a fight in New Rochelle. Wasn't even a fight. They got not only did he get the best of me, we ran out of it. We ran New Rochelle. But Salesian, him and Eric Mobley. And part of it was you talk about the competition was so crazy that the level of respect that you have for one another, that you were going to fight. You were going to have some situations where it's like, yo, you know what? Yo, I'm not rocking with this dude right now because I'm trying to go at him. David Kane, Mike Huger, like Dre, we played at Stevenson, I think my junior year. I tried to go in and out and spin. Dave Kane picked my pocket so crazy. I was still dribbling. He landed up at the other end. This is my OG. Like this was your pocketbook. Like, yo, I got you. I'm like, damn, yo. So like you were playing against Big East players. You were playing against nationally ranked players in the city. That's when the city, you guys kind of brought the city back. What you guys did at Rice brought the city back. What Truck, I look at Zavarian with Levance Fields with Saquon, like Wayne at Fajuku, dude, like him,
It's
True
tough.
Holloway, like,
I was looking
yeah,
at,
like,
I was looking up growing up, so you ain't gotta tell me nothing about that kid. You ain't gotta tell me nothing.
and your crew, like, think about your year,
It's
you,
crazy, bro. We
Amari,
took like,
Shane, Deron Lamb, like, y'all shit was stupid.
it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. To this day, me, Shane, and Mark, we all talk about it. Like, man, 30 for 30 got to make for like that whole Gaucho year from the whole 15 to all the way up to 17. Like,
Yeah,
it
all the
was
way
crazy
up.
times, bro. We took these days, 16s and 17s. Like, come on, it was special, bro. It was special.
And I would say
It's
this,
kind of move on a little bit forward. Yeah,
Fred,
I'm listening to that book.
I would say this. When I look at that, that run that we had, that run was like no other. And I don't think people talk about that enough because I'm not sure how many games you lost. Like, I think you may have lost 5 games in your AAU career. Like, so my point is,
You talking about that year? That AAU year you talking about?
yeah, once. And well, I think it was
I think we lost one tournament.
Memorial Day. Remember when Danny Jennings bugged out on Chad? So, but with that being said, man, like, I think, playing for Riverside Church, I understood as a black man helping young black men, that's my goal, and helping young men and helping young women, because there was people along the way who helped. And now, like, I look at y'all crew, like, what y'all did for Gauchos, because, again, like, no one talks about it. We had the biggest Nike contract in the country. Why? Because of 17, 16, 15s, back-to-back Peach Jam champions. Like, again, I've been involved with 3 Peach Jam championships. There's nobody else in the city who can say that. And what they start saying is, oh, well, it was different. The Gauchos were irrelevant. And I'm saying, well, when Magic Johnson won with the Lakers, were they irrelevant? Was the league different? Do you discredit the Lakers in the 80s and 90s?
Exactly.
Do you discredit them? Were they not relevant? Or do you start saying, like, yo, stop acting like it didn't happen and just respect it?
Facts. Nah, you ain't lying, bro. Oh, so as you know, we move on a little bit. We're gonna talk about high school a little bit. It's another thing. I'm lying. I did know this. You went the same race, right? But for me, it's just like I didn't know it, but like when I see book, I'm not thinking. I don't really look at you the same race kid. Like, but for some reason,
Who's different?
Feel like that book is a Rice dude. Like, he went to Rice. Before I went to Rice, he was up at Rice. You feel me? But it's just funny to accumulate all this information and find out a lot more about you and I'm just, as I was reading, I was like more intrigued about book. And I'm like, yo, this is the perfect time. I can get to know my OG even more. You know what I mean? But to kind of get you going, just talk about your experience, at St. Ray's, and I don't know why you went to St. Ray's, because you was a Harlem native. I'm correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I mean? So why pick St. Ray's over Rice? You know what I mean?
The crazy thing, because Jerry McCullough went to Rice, and I always talk with Jerry, and the ultimate level of respect. And as I'm older now, I can admit, like, not only was he better than me, I'm not sure if we could have played together. Like, that's how much better he was. And like Terrence, probably Jamel Thompson, and Eric Jones, Greg Wilkerson talked about going to St. Raymond's. Now, we didn't know where it was because, again, like I said, at that point, I had moved to the Bronx. I was back and forth. And I was doing, I was doing a lot of things that a 13-year-old probably shouldn't have been doing, that a 14-year-old probably shouldn't have been doing. And it's like, yo, why you going there? We went to the Archdiocese game.
Shout out to Shane Dribbling Machine. Yeah, I'm listening to that. I was giving shout out to Shane.
Yeah, that's the homie. That's Big Bro right there. All love. So went to Mount St. Michael's for the Archdiocese game. Talentine was playing St. Raymond's. And St. Raymond's had this point guard named Eddie Rivera. Animal. Absolute animal. Like, that's my OG. That's I bow down to him because, again, he paved the way. They won. I like the colors, orange and blue. Me and Terrence talked about it. Mel talked about it. Jamal, Eric Jones, Greg Wilkerson, we know was going there. We had a pound. And we were supposed to go to Talentine. And I remember going to Talentine, and Kenny Beverly was like my host. And like, Talentine had girls. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, think about this, Dred. I'm 13, 14 years old. I got a pocket full of money. I'm fresh. My moms keep me fresh. You know what I'm saying? We rocking out. I'm in the mix. And something said, nah, you'll go to St. Ray's. And when we got to St. Ray's, like, my mom's balked on me because I didn't know where it was at. She was like, yo, I said, they told me it's near the near the post office. And there was one close up on Tremont. She bugged out. We get in the cab, whatever, jump out, get to St. Ray's. And the Caesar's looking like, yo, who is this? And he was like, yo, I'm just not sure. Because at the time, like, you got on some Bally's, you know what I'm saying, $200 shoes. I'm 13 years old. And my mom, so I got some $200 Bally's on, thinking nothing of it, some polo pants and the green silk. And I say that not to talk about the labels, but it's just like that was my natural, like, again, 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I know what this is about. And get there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, like, it was probably the best experience. That dude helped save my life because we lost the city championship game as a freshman. And Dred, believe it or not, I know I don't look like I could play. I got like 20 a game. And I realized we lost to Malloy. We lost to Malloy. And when I say that the two Jasons, they outdueled us, man. And we played, we moved up varsity right after that. And it taught me how to work. It taught me dedication. It taught me I had to grow up. And like I said, Terrence Rencher, I realized that he was that much better than me. And I realized, like, yo, I got to get him the ball. My sophomore year, Orlando Antigua got here. And like I said, it changed the trajectory of how St. Raymond's went.
Let me ask you about that. How easy was it for you to do that, to kind of visualize that, understand it, and understand that, okay, I am not plan A. He is. We got to allow him to help us, take us to where we want to go. Did your ego kick in? Were you like, what was going through your mind at that time? Because it's not easy for a kid, especially at that level, to just be like, okay, we're going to cater to this kid because he's the best on the team. You know what I mean? A lot of egos kicking at that time.
I think, top 10 or top 20 in the city as a freshman. And what happened was my block took over. Clay Avenue took over. And I knew I had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And them dudes from, what happens at Clay, they pull at you, and not in a negative way, but you kind of become the spokesman. And what happened was I understood who Terrence was. Like, we used to make fun and be like, okay, I'm Red, Jamal, Jamel is Carlos Easterling, and Terrence is Kenny Anderson. And T. Rencher, like, I always say you're a bad left-hand motherfucker because, like, I watched his progression, and it was easy because, part of it, the streets did the streets showed me whatever my mother didn't teach me, the streets did. And that
Mm-hmm.
team, being loyal to that team, being loyal to guys like Carl Green, Danny Bates, Dana Dingle, Terrence, and O, I knew, like, in order for us to win, for all of us to win, then, my man, you got to say, I'm putting my ego to the side.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Put my ego to the side.
Yep.
And I've always been a point guard. And like I said, when I watched everything that I did, I could do what Terrence did, but it just looked, I was struggling when I did it. He looked more
Mm-hmm.
fluent and smooth.
Yep.
Let him do
So,
it.
facts. So, as you make this transition, to the collegiate level, what I do want to ask you is, playing amongst, like, some of these talented players, these guys, you probably have a guy going to Big East, another guy going ACC. You play with so many talented players. I think there's usually guys that struggle in a sense because they see their teammates getting these big schools. They want to, where's my big school?
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, what is your mindset then, and also when schools were on the table? When you had schools, like obviously you went to FAU. Once you had the schools like FAU, were you still have a struggle in your mind where you were like, I should be going to a better school, or was you like, I earned this, like I'm proud of this, like I'm a college student, bro. Like, I
Nah.
did what my mom always wanted me to do. You know what I mean? What kind of your mindset at the time?
Yo, Dred, Terrence Trencher went to Texas. Orlando Antigua went to Pitt. Dana Dingle was being recruited as a top 50 junior. Danny Bates was a top 100 junior. Charlton Clark and those dudes were young killers. Kareem Reed was he was coming in from Talentine. They closed down. Eric Harris, like, we had a pound. And what happened was, I'm telling you, it was so easy. My junior year in 5-star, I made the All-Star team. We won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Huggins, Anthony Carter, the two guard, was like, yo, you should come to Cincinnati. And I remember my high school coach, I remember Gary DeCesar saying, yo, you're not good enough to play there.
Mm-hmm.
And what he was telling me was, you are not locked in. Because I'm telling you, I was so scatterbrained. Like, Dred, I never started any one of my, like, I played varsity. I started varsity as a sophomore. I never started the first game because either I was in trouble or I was suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened when I got Florida Atlantic,
You
I
was
was
probably appreciative. You was like,
because like, it was Hawaii. I was committing to Hawaii early, and when they came to see me play, I was suspended. And Coach DeCesar was like, "Yo, what are you doing? You suspended. You can't play today."
yeah.
Damn. I wanted to go to Southwest Missouri State. Then, like, something happened in Missouri, and then your Dread. I'm telling you,
You
I kind
just
of
always
felt,
kept running to a wall, just some type of
yeah.
obstacle.
And so it was easy for me to say, all right, yo, you know what? I got FAU on the table, and and
It's been the
as you
best of
have
it.
it, yeah, because like I said, my mom's,
And I'm a little close to the ends. I ain't too far from some sunshine.
yeah, and you know what? I'm telling you, like, my mom's didn't know, like, because my mom's never went through the recruiting process. Again, like, it all went through my high school coach, and I hate that because that's something that she's never experienced. And like visits, I went to Hofstra, I went to Wagner. Like, I'm like, what's crazy? You know what I'm saying? I went to Hofstra. I had a G pack on me, like, rocking and rolling. Like, again, like, in the mix. Like, yo, what are you doing?
Do
But
it.
and it's like, as I look at it now, I'm glad that I had a couple people who I could listen to, but I just was like, damn, like, what are you doing? Like, what if I went to Hofstra, changed my life? But as you go through it, I'm telling you, like, I was happy for Terrence. I was happy for O, because I felt like without me, they wouldn't have got there. And I felt that I had the opportunity to help them because, like, so I never thought that I would graduate high school. I never thought I'd reach 18 years old. I never thought I'd go to college. I had a daughter at 17, 18 years old.
So I'd be grateful for sure.
Yeah, I, again, just into different things. And like, they just was like, yo, if you locked in, you got a chance to go to the highest level. And I just like, nah, no, I don't. Again, I know what I know on this corner, and I know what I know, in the streets. And by no stretch of the imagination, am I glorifying the glam, but what I am saying is it was something that opened your eyes because,
Yeah.
again, my eyes was off of it.
Yep, facts. So like I said, so now you make your transition to college. You know, you're a young midget because you ain't had no height till you're a young midget. Getting shipped off to Florida to go to school. I know, especially I feel like back then in those days, like I feel like the brotherhood was a lot strong. Not in the sense that we still have the brother shit now, but it's like a brotherhood. I don't know how to explain it, but you kind of know what I'm talking about. So the facts were like, now you're making a transition to go to college, like you losing your brothers. How did you feel? You know what I mean? Like,
It's one of the worst.
Contacting those things, but how did you feel?
One of the worst feelings ever because you become a band. Dread, my junior year, we went to, think about this in the 2 year, my junior, senior year at St. Raymond's. We went to Alaska, Alabama, Missouri, my junior year. My senior year, we went to Hawaii, Missouri, and San Diego. Like, again, the travel rule in the Catholic High School Athletic Association was made because of St. Raymond's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a fact. So you with these guys, like Terrence French and myself, we've been playing since 6th, 7th grade. Orlando, Antigua, you know what I'm saying? You become, again, I was living with Orlando my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
My junior year, no one knows that, it was just topsy-turvy. Like, it was just so much going on. So now I'm in Boca Raton, Florida. Yo, Dread, I was wild. I got kicked. I was Terrence. Me and Terrence got suspended like the same time. Him, me for something else, and it just was like, yo, I missed him. And I remember what opened my eyes. My high school coach, when I came back, he was like, yo, either you're gonna be dead or in jail. I was like, damn, that's how you look at me? He said, yeah. And a lot of it was immaturity, but you start missing those guys. Because I'm telling you, Florida Atlantic for me, I grew up. And I had, I met some interesting people, and I met people who are family to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a sister, Danielle, like, to this, my sister. She again, when it was hungry, she took care of me. And I'm gonna tell you something crazy. I ran into a couple of dudes in Detroit down there. We got caught robbing the washing machines. Like, it just was like, we would, again, you talk about, I'm in Miami in 1991. I'm at Loops. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the spots. I'm eating wings in there. Like, yo, I'm the 18, 19-year-old dude from New York in Miami.
So let me ask you this. Like, I'm going to cut you off, but let me ask you this. So at that time, did you feel like you lacked a little bit of guidance or somebody like who kind of could have put you in the right lane? And the reason I'm asking you is because my platform is all kind of built on this, where I feel like a lot wasn't given to us, but I'm not going to continue this trend. I got to stop it right here where I need to get back to the next generation. You know what I mean? And I feel like you are a prime example of that. And this is why, collectively, having you, Kimani, and Shane, this is why I call this episode Inspired to Inspire, because I feel like all you guys obviously have to be inspired at some point, whether it's even play the game, then to coach the game, and now you have all the opportunity to change kids' lives. You know what I mean? So these are the people who should be glorified, really, because without these coaches, these human beings, there's certain things of the game kids won't be able to grasp, or even just to care for another human being. So, man, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you for show, man. So,
no, I appreciate you.
Like I said, now
thank you.
Like I was saying, you at FAU, I think you got a pretty good freshman year, right or wrong, on freshman team. So I'm guessing you had a decent year. You know what I mean? What conference was they back then? Let me ask you that, just to get a.
Trans-American. We were on our way to Division I, so Trans-American, and then I'm telling you, it was your Dread. It was Boca Raton, Florida, in 1991, 92. It was.
You told me somebody who went to University of Miami, so it was just a drop of the block. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know. I know.
Wilt Chamberlain was on that campus, a couple of years prior. So it was whatever you wanted, whatever you needed, you know what I'm saying, you was going to find on that campus. and I was hoping to provide it.
So then, as your career continued, you then went on to go play at Monroe. Now, I want to ask you this because Monroe is home, and I want to ask you why make this decision because, and this is funny to me because like when as a kid growing up, before I even played basketball or anything, I also just remember my older brothers always be like, yo, we about to go watch this Monroe game, Monroe. So like as a young age while I was playing football, I always thought Monroe was like a big school in New York City. You know what I mean? And I feel like to come back to Monroe it has to be a situation. Me being a basketball player, it either had to be a situation where you're homesick, family issues, you wasn't enjoying yourself at FAU, or whatever the case may be. So I said, you know what, we ain't gonna skip over this. I need to know what happened right here because as a basketball, people may not think like, why you went to Monroe? But for me, knowing it got into something. So I want you to share with the people what happened, what was your decision of going to Monroe?
Probably one of the greatest things, like some of the greatest things in my life has happened through failure. I was politely asked to leave from Florida Atlantic. I got kicked out. I got kicked out. So
like, this was great. I never knew this. I'm sure a lot of people don't even
I got kicked out.
Book get kicked out. Now, listen, man. There's these people like him, man. That's like we look up to. I was just telling a story today that we look good on the outside. We look like everything is fine on the outside. Like everything's spectacular. They like, yo, damn, Book made it there. They got to Arizona, but they forget to look like these are little small flaws, little obstacles, scars, wounds that's still open that Book coaches, basketball players go through to get to where they're at. You know what I'm trying to say? And people don't take attention to that. They only see what's glorified. But we need to bring attention to all the shit, stuff that you've been through. So, kind of talk about that.
So, I was politely asked to leave from Florida Atlantic. I got in trouble. I got caught with a gun on campus. I also got caught selling books. I had a phone card, and I was out. They actually moved me off campus. So as a freshman, think about it, I'm living off campus now. So I needed to be humble because I was a 19-year-old kid down in Boca Raton, Florida, who had all the answers, and I thought I was better than I was. So Monroe became the only thing because, again, academically, I wasn't, again, Dredd, I was enjoying Boca Raton, Florida. I was enjoying Miami. Again, I was in Miami in 91 and 92 when New Yorkers wasn't going down there. You know what I'm saying? When Truck be like, you was outside. No, I was outside.
Yeah.
So, and I say that with all due respect because, like I said, I remember, like, mess with Jam Pony boys and Luke, like, yo, hey, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, send it over here. I'm gonna pop a bottle, then I'm gonna throw a bottle. Yo, you drink? Nah, but I'm gonna buy the bottle. Wait, if you go to FAU, you don't go to Miami, you don't play football, you in the tailback? Nah, I'm from up there. And like I said, I had two dudes from Detroit who was rocking. So, you go to Monroe and President Jerome, Steve DeMail was the head coach, and he was recruiting. He said, I never thought I'd get a player the caliber of you. And I just was like, I didn't want to play basketball no more. And who got me to play was my best friends in life, Dwayne Core. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I tell you 55th Street legend, him, Spud Hoffler, like, we grew up together. Andre Penny and my man John Phenom. And the crazy thing, Dredd, I played against him in UDC. With Kips Bay, not with Kips Bay, with the boys club, Hoe Avenue, and we going at it. And you know what I'm saying? Shit get physical, get crazy. And they was like, now we want him on our team. So when I got to Monroe, I said, I'm not playing because I figured like, for one time, let me give myself a chance to say like, this dude, he can do it. Because I forgot to tell you, like, I was an honor student in high school, and that was the most embarrassing thing for me because I didn't want people to know how smart I was.
It didn't match up. Exactly, because
it don't add up.
You can't let them know how smart you are.
Nah. So, you go to Monroe, it's redemption for me. And not only is it redemption, it's one of those things where it's like I had to grow up. Like my mom's had moved, bought her house in Georgia. My grandmom's still up here. And it, again, it was shaky. I had to figure it out. And it was like I said, I grew up, Dredd. And then we hooped. And like I said, the president of the school was like, "Yo, I heard how good you are." Actually, it was an article in the New York Times about me coming back there, and I don't know who wrote it, but I just was like, "Well, why are they writing this?" Because I didn't want to hoop. After we saw it, Dre, we go 28-3. You know what I'm saying? My sophomore year, we number one in the country, rocking. I led the nation in assists. Yeah,
He was wilding.
yeah, but part of it, I had to finally realize, like, yo, I can do the work. I'm not the dude that's caught up on the block, because what happens is the block gives you so much love. You don't realize that love that is given you is short lived, because it's like, yo, I was fortunate that, again, I was able to see the world. But sometimes I just was like, man, fuck the world. You know what I'm saying? I love this block. Like, again, you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm at Monroe playing 55th with Fred Brown. I got the book bag on. I got like 25 dudes from Clay. Like, we walking in. And by the way, Dred, I'm the tallest dude. So we feeling a certain way. And I'm like, yo, this is what it's about? And it's like, nah, book. Nah, this ain't what it's about. Like, you can love those guys. You got to make sure those guys are good. But I'm just telling you, like, it's more to this. It's more to this. And that's what Monroe was for me. Like I said, man, I have some of the best, like, family friends. You know, I call a lot of them, you know, Roberta Greenberg was like a mom to me. Kathy Murphy, you know, they were moms. Dr. Ephraim, the President Jerome, you know, Coach Charles Jackson. You know, I tried, once I graduated from Monroe and I went to Pitt Johnstown, I tried to come back. And Coach Jay was like, all right, I got you. You can stay at my house. I said, all right, bet. I'm staying for the night. He said, bet. We woke up in the morning. He was like, yo, come with me. I said, where we going? We took my bags. He took me right to the bus stop. He's like, nah, you going back up there. It's nothing for you here.
Yeah, you gotta respect that. Got to, man. So, like, so then after that, you know, you kind of, you know, finding love for the game again a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, you know, got the support system around you. Then you kind of, what made you kind of make the decision to, you know what, I want to continue playing? Because then you went on to go play at Pittsburgh, at, you know, University of Pittsburgh at Johnson. So when you got there, at this point, I know it's like, okay, I got my backpack on. You know, let's get to work. You know what I mean? I could make some money. I could do something with this. So, you know what I mean? All my life, you know, I've been running to obstacles, whether it's, you know, my fault or due to somebody else's fault. You know, just kind of straighten up and get it done. So they kind of just talk about that transition and where it kind of led you, you know, to kind of leave a positive life after that.
Yo, again, fortunate team player. I had this kid on the team, Chris Raines, 6'5", power forward from D.C. Again, so now I get love from D.C., going back and forth. Another dude, Devlin Herring, who, again, like, so you got two dudes playing Division II, three dudes playing Division II who are All-Americans. We never knew each other. So, like, you get there my junior year, that school Pitt Johnstown had never got to the NCAA tournament, let alone, I don't think they got a 20-win season. My first year I get there, we go 20-something, 21, I think, or 22, but we get to the tournament. I lead the nation in assists, and my coach, Bob Rookavine, is like my dad to this day. To
let everybody know, he was averaging, listen, don't let that jump over. He led the NCAA in assists, averaging 10 assists a game, easy. You know what I'm trying to say? And he did this as junior and senior.
And so Dred, the crazy thing, I did it 3 years in a row, because I did it 1 year in junior college, and then I did it 2 years at Pitt Johnstown.
Yep.
And
crazy.
And you know, like I said, it's documented, but I'm just telling you, like, once you got there, I knew, yo, I got some dudes who could play, and we won. And you know, like I said, for me, my college coach, I've been fortunate to have some really good coaches who took a liking and love for me, because there was times I didn't love myself. I didn't know how to love myself, but those dudes took a liking to me. You know, all my little brother, you know, Felipe, so I'm sorry, Dred. I'm new to, like, Instagram, so I'm seeing some stuff. So I see my little brother Felipe, and, like, you know, he fight back tears, because as you grow up on Clay Avenue, you know, him, Keith, Chad, you know, Chatty O, you know, again, like I said, you 15, 16, you hearing 031, like, you just, it's certain things you like, what is that? And it you know, it becomes a way of life for you, and it's like, oh shit, this is, you know, so when, you know, a lot of times when I hear stories of rappers, you know, what they're talking about, I'm like, I was there. So, you know, you get to Johnstown, and I'm telling you, like, you won, like, you know, 45 45 games in 2 years. You know, people say, oh, that's not a lot, but for a school that's never won 40 games in 2 years,
Oh,
their
my bad,
existence.
but I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off. My bad. We got 15 seconds left. We're going to, before I let the book continue, because you're going to cut off, we're going to tap out and tap right back in. It's 5 seconds left, so just tap out and tap right back in, because, book on the roll, and we keep them going. My bad for the convenience. We're going to get right back on y'all.